Morning, everyone. Yes, very good morning. Shall we begin? In the last, in the last session, in the last class, we have started or we have completed with the chapter number 6. Yes, in the last topic is the peer evaluation of the oral presentation of the speeches. Let's move to the next part. Any doubts still here? Anyone? Any clarifications? Anything that you want to ask? Yes, when we talk about the peer evaluation, oral presentation, these are evaluation techniques that can be used initially as an awareness exercise with the students. And the students also feel comfortable providing feedback to each other, a less structured approach that can be used. So there are three parts: very good, satisfactory, or the poor. When we talk about the very good, that is the highest level, it depends. This is the one of the example. This grading are from 3 to 1 only. At some time they are grading from 5 to 1. 5 it does top most, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. So that depends on the environment to environment or topic to topic. For example, when you talk about this one, again there are 3 cases, but there are 3 cases like very easily with difficulty. All right, so let's move to the next chapter, chapter number 7 from the classroom. First question arises, is this chapter useful to me? So most of the teachers will be able to extract the ideas by getting this chapter for implementing the research from this chapter. Now, what will I find in this chapter? Sample research units have developed and used by the Alberta Education at a division. What should be developed? Why should be developed? What is the use of the Alberta study? And the sample research activity units plan that is developed and used by the Alberta Education at all the levels, all the divisions, as well as the skill levels. And students came to understand their own such a process through guided use of the education from elementary school through higher school. That means whatever their skills, so this picture shows whatever their skills, their such process, their such procedures to guided use of the information from elementary school through the high school, that is from the primary to the high school. And they learned that thinking, reflecting, and mulling are an important part of learning from information. That uncertainty is not only okay, but it is the beginning of all the learnings. Whatever the scenarios, whatever the outcomes, whatever the reflections, learning that will taken out, so they learn about thinking, they learn about reflecting, and they learn about the modeling, that are the important part of the learnings from that information. And it is the beginning of all the learning. They take the initiative to find out and the responsibility for telling others, and these are the basic skills for the information age, for the information criteria. And this is given by the Carol Cathew. This phrase, this sentence, that means students came to understand their research procedures, such process with the use of guided information, with the use of the elementary education, and they learned that the thinking, reflecting, and mulling are an important configuration, an important part of pulling from that information only. And it is the beginning of each and every learning. That they take the initiative to find out and the responsibility for telling others, and these are the basic skills for the information age. So how do we guide our students? How do we move from the general principles of chapter 3 and the curriculum based framework of chapter 5, 6 to the Monday's morning classroom? What is the main procedure that is followed up to follow the principles? So the following sample assignment that gives an idea of from classroom provide the tried and the true research activities in different subjects and at different division levels. Whatsoever the activities, whatsoever the procedures, Whatsoever the assignment that will be taken out or that will be given from the classroom that provides a tried and true research activities. And some examples also use the advanced level for research stages and also the introductory level for other stages. These projects concentrate on developing student independence and the use of certain skills while providing more teachers direction in other skills areas also. That skills area may be at the introduction stage, that skills area may be at the advanced stage. But the main thing that concentrate on developing is in the use of the certain skills while moving forward to the direction in other skills areas. And all of the investigation that's submitted by the elementary education teachers could not be used, so samples were selected on the basis of the division and the subject. Sample means sample reports. Now, sample one, number one is division one from the classroom of. That is the Sheila Spence, who have completed 20 years of teaching experience. And she is a part-time right now gifted program teacher, part-time resource room teacher, and also the part-time teacher librarian at the Paynes Community School. So stage number one is planning, and the topic is given as a who is who in the zoo. Subject is language arts, science, grade is 1 and 1.5 or half. Number of students is 24 is to 11, 24 is to 18 basically. Time is 3 weeks. So stage 1 planning, this activity was cooperatively planned by the teacher, librarian and the teachers. This classroom activity, teachers read the several animal stories and also the facts or books with the students. And this can also let the children in brainstorming list of greetings, animals as well as the animal sounds. And children develop the sentence pattern. Then in the next day, the students were introduced to the concept of the habitat, and children painted the pictures of animals in their natural habitat, whatever their natural habitat they are using up. Then day 3, each pair of students selected as an animal from a list and students were asked to prepare the following projects to be evaluated. Whatsoever the project they are carrying out, whatsoever the output they are using up, so they are getting from the problem. They're getting the tasks that were prepared to follow the task. And the reports of these 3 sentences, each on a separate page, with an illustration that depicting appearance, habitat, and the food. And the poem that is based on the form in A Children's Zoo by the Tana Hoban that will give the birth certificate, birth announcement that complete with the picture of baby and the mother. And the students are also evaluated on their oral reading of their work to the teacher librarian. And on the final products that will introduce, or in this the students are introduced to the concept of editing. And they were introduced with the research with the projects, birth announcements, pictures, and they were evaluated on their oral reading of their work to the teacher librarian and to the final products. Now, the student will locate the basic information about an animal by examining the pictures and using the keywords also. Then organize the information in the appropriate categories and report the information through pictures and sentence writing. Whatever the sentence writing, whatever the procedure that you are using also, that report information by the student, that report will be given by the students on an ongoing basis. Then level is introductory. Research stages are the all emphasis on the information retrieval. Now, stage number 2 is information retrieval. How we can retrieve the information. Yeah, this is we have done. Stage number 2 is information retrieval. Now next is day 4 activity. Day 3 is done. Now day 4 is each pair of students selected an animal from a suggested list of students, that is with the teacher librarian guidance. So each student must select one of the animal from the listed that is given below. With the guidance of the teacher librarian, then brainstorm and categorize questions about animals to limit the research to appearance, habitat, and the food. Then day 5 is a field trip to the zoo provided an opportunity for the children to view the animal that is to be studied. That means till now everything is theoretically, then field trip will be given to the zoo that provides an opportunity to view the animals that you have studied about, and during the tour students also map the journey around the zoo, whatever their outcomes, whatever they're learning, that can write down on the paper. Day 6, after returning from the zoo, students brainstorm questions to help them find out about one particular animal, about what particular scenarios. Then day 7 or 8, students studied the pictures, schemed and read text, looked for the keywords and took the brief notes. The major portion of the research was completed in one class during the 7 or the 8th day. And the students also recalled information from the zoo, videos and film strips will be used, pictures, WhatsApp group pictures, or we can say the video, film strip, whatever you take that opportunity with the while going to the zoo, that were used at the beginning of each session. This is the activity of the day 7 to 8. Yeah, this all information will be used for the information retrieval, that is the day 2 activity. Then stage number 3 is information processing. Information planning is done, information retrieval is done. Third part is information processing. Now comments on using the research is that I believe that the resource-based learning increases student independence, expands the student interest in and ability to find out the things out for themselves, and they begin to make the connections and believe that it is may or may not even read more books than before. Now day 9 activity in the stage number 3. Students translated the information from pictures to the verbal to written form and also recorded the keywords only. So they translate the information from the pictures into the verbal form, into the written form, and also recorded the keywords. Student notes were written as short report divided into sections on appearance, habitat, and the food. And the grade 1 students were given sentence pattern to follow. Grade 2 students developed their own sentences structure from the notes. That depends on the different grade, different section, different schools. So our report will be given on the appearance, habitat, and the food. Then day 11, teachers and the parents read 3 baby animals books to small groups. Students recorded information on the same sheet, on the same matter, on the number, on the scenario, on the portfolio, whatever the portfolio they are using of, whatever the size they are using of, whatever the special name of the young of the chosen animals. Then day 12 is with the teacher guidance, students brainstorm, use their notes and search the books for 5 words to describe an animal. Any 5 words that will be given as a poem to describe an animal. For example, modeled on a children's zoo by the Tanahobam and illustrated it with the pictures of animals in its habitat. So this says that I developed an interest in using the resources from outside the classroom as the resources were very limited in the first course. So you can carry on with the various activities with the interests, with the resources. So what was essential has become natural. And the biggest surprise to me was that every young or very young children can search or can research effectively. So day 11, Day 12, that will be used with the brainstorming, that will be used to find out the notes, to search out the books for 5 words to describe an animal. Then stage 4 is information sharing. So all work including the notes, poem and the book's announcement were made in a booklet that was read to one of the teachers. And the booklet were then displayed on the bulletin board and at the discrete office. Students share their work first with the teacher, then with the teacher librarian, and then moves to the small group of the fellow children. Yes, day 12 is done, information processing is done. So then we move to the information sharing. So all the work, including the notes, including the poem and the birth certificates, but the announcement were made into a booklet that was read as or to one of the teachers, and these booklets were then displayed on the bulletin board and at the discrete office, and they also shared their work first with the teachers, then with the teacher librarian, then with the small group of the fellow students, fellow children. Now, next stage is stage number 5, evaluation. So, more focus was placed on raising the student self-esteem and also focused on the positive result. And this evaluation was an ongoing procedure occurring at each of the stage to ensure the students received adequate reinforcement, adequate guidance, adequate self-esteem on the positive result, negative result. Evaluation also done on an ongoing basis, occurring at each and every stage, with the student guidance, with the student procedures, with the students information retrieval, reinforcement, and as well as the guidance. So stage number 5 is emphasis. Next is stage 2, sample 2, that is a division 2. From the classroom of Judy Mans, who have 14 years of teaching experience, that is the next experience that is shared out. So this experience that is given by one of the female teacher, that is clear to each and every one, because this was placed on raising the student self-esteem as well as focused on the positive results. And this is an ongoing procedure occurring at each and every stage to ensure the students received adequate information, adequate reinforcement, and also the guidance to ensure the students, to ensure the availability, to ensure the positive result, to ensure each and every stage must be followed up. That will be occurring, that will be using the self-esteem and also focus on the positive result.